Yo, go over this already. What is this one? Ah, the exploit. Okay, so apparently, guys, if you don't know, we had an exploit in Korea, guys. The exploit was the world boss thing that they did. They made it so that you could farm the world boss multiple times per day if it was in tier 3. However, because everyone's trying to do advanced honing, the value of tier 3 materials has gone up. Still seems really fucking weird. And so what people were doing is Smilegate didn't check that you could change channels to refarm the world boss and still get loot. So people were exploiting the world boss by spamming it multiple times. And now what they're doing, they are going to be taking away their materials and making them go negative. It's literally the exact same thing. Yeah. They were doing 20 of them an hour or some shit. It's literally the exact same thing, guys. First time. I mean, I'm just saying, guys, I want you guys to understand that the idea to make you guys go negative and take shit away is the Smilegate special. This is literally what they do. This is the Smilegate special. They did this before back in the same thing too with the Fions. They just take your shit away. This is what they do. And so now they're taking away their stuff. Wait, what? Oh, there's a video.
There was an announcement from the Smilegate official regarding the field boss exploit that happened in Korea, and I had no idea of like what they were talking about. Was there an exploit going on with the field boss? And then when I went into the invent, the KR Lost Ark community site, there is a very good post that
honestly, man, I'm not gonna lie, what Yosek said the other day is true. I feel like Smilegate recently has been just putting up more, maybe not more bugs, but it feels like that in the West. I feel like they've been dealing with a lot more bugs. And I think that's probably because they're just either dealing with too many regions at once. Because if you think about it, dude, they have to send out how many fucking different builds of the game every month. They got to do their own build. They got to do China build. They got to do the Western build. They got to do the fucking RU build, which granted the RU build has like 15 players on it. No offense, but it's probably fucking true. Like I know somebody sent me the other day. No, but it's true though. Like why the fuck would you work at Smilegate? Here's the thing, guys. The budget is low. You get paid way less. You have to work way too many fucking hours. Like way too many hours, bro. There used to be a meme that when you drive past Smilegate, the office was always on. The lights are always on. That used to be the joke. Like I think I don't know who it was. Was it Benji or was it fucking Shin? He used to drive down the bridge and he would see the Smilegate office and it was always on because they're always working. So you get paid less. You fucking work a bajillion hours. Why would you work there? So they're always trying to hire. Well, it's just how it is in Korean companies in general, man. Maple Story just had a fucking exploit. There was just a goddamn a Maple Story exploit. You know what I mean? They just had one fucking, you know, the fucking other day. It's just crazy. Being an MMO developer is sad times. Being able to work 20 hours a day just for some neckbeard to flame you on the forums for being shit. I mean, yeah, it sucks fucking dick. Why would you want to work on that shit, bro? Why would you want to work on games in general? You don't get paid a shitload. You get shit on by everybody. Nothing is ever enough. And you're working insane fucking hours and getting paid nothing for it. Now, granted, though, I do feel like I have noticed more fucking bugs in general. Big gacha games, bro. I mean, I don't know if that's fucking any better, though. I mean, yeah, it's probably easier to make them. But I mean, I don't think gacha gamer fans are that friendly either, bro.
Summarized the situation that's going on. 3 days ago on Wednesday, they updated the field boss because of people not getting like, you know, the essential runes.
Not essential.
Or like Omnium Star, like horizontal stuff, or like Adventure Cook, like so on and so forth. The director wanted people to obtain them as fast as possible, so they allowed to repetitively kill the field boss on that field boss day. For other rewards, like, you know, the materials that comes out with the field boss and the gem, of course, like, you know, only one time obtainable on that day. That's how it was written in the patch note on Wednesday. But it turns out what was going on is that a critical mistake from a Smilegate happened. By the way, this horizontal improvement only applies to tier 3 field boss, not tier 4. So people who are like, huh? Can I, like, you know, infinitely farm for the legendary poison rune and the +5 skill point for the Civic?
I mean, how much will you actually make? Does the world boss literally give doo-doo ass mats? Like, is this really the most effective way to farm? Like, am I tripping though? Like, no, but it's tier 3 Skyu. What the fuck do you actually get? Relic books from tier 3 bosses? He shows it? Okay.
07. No, that's tier 4. Now the problem is all the tier 3 field bosses were spawning every hour, even though that day was not a field boss day. From yesterday, which was a Chaos Gate day, not a field boss, Thursday, the field boss was also spawning at the same time with the Chaos Gate, which the Smilegate didn't even knew as well, because they knew now after like 3 days. It took 3. So what's the problem with this? Darkus, the field boss from the Voldis, is the problem. Darkus, if you kill him, it gives you tier 3 shard tradable, small, destruction and the guardian stone, and the tier 3 juices and the card exp as well. So problem number 1, the field boss was spawning even though it was not a field boss day. And problem number 2, tradable mats, they were obtainable multiple times, infinitely. So few people who knew that this exploit was possible, they started killing the Darkus from channel 1 until the last channel that was generated from the Chaos Gate. You can get all these reward even on next hour, and the next hour, and the next hour. Someone actually flexed the result of the exploit, and this amount is killing the Darkus from channel 1 to the last channel for 2 hours.
Whoa, that is actually pretty fucking good. That is actually pretty fucking good. 177 small shard bags, which by the way, the value of that is way higher, guys. Remember, like people over there are doing tier 3 advanced honing. They're probably, that's pretty fucking good, bro. All tradable too, plus the juices. It's messed up, but not technically an exploit. No, it is an exploit because the boss is not even supposed to be spawning that day. That is literally an exploit, isn't it? Isn't that an exploit? The boss is not supposed to be spawning. You're farming something that's not supposed to be there. That's an exploit. Damn. Another one though. It is what it is though. You know, like we would never do that over here though. If that shit happened over here, guys, like we are way more sophisticated and respect the game way more. And like would not want to risk our accounts. We would never do that over here, guys. Ever.
They can't ban us.
Ever.
Guys.
Ever. Never, ever, ever. None of you would. That incident never happened to the West. Yeah, never happens. Exploit it and get compensation. Yeah, that's yeah, we get exploits over here, guys. People exploit and then we get compensation because they exploit. That's what's crazy about the Western version, guys. Somehow we get compensation from people exploiting. Super random. I don't know how that happens, but it does.
Of the exploit, and this amount is killing the Darkus from channel 1 to the last channel for 2 hours.
Oh, shit.
Pokemon battle song. Like this post says, like, it doesn't matter if it's not me who's getting problem, ban all of them, .gif, KW. So the announcement was
all Lost Ark players are the same. Ban all of them. It was not me. Like that's how exactly. You're all the same, guys. That's the thing, man. And this just shows that it's the game. You know, the game. Korean games make people like this. It's just the truth, bro. Korean games make you like this, you know? It's just what it is, though. Korean games make you like this. They just make you more like, arr, you know? It's just the fucking truth. They just make you angry. And that's why we play them. I like Korean games for a few reasons. I like a little bit of Gamba. I like the combat. I like Eastern aesthetic in video games. I like the high fantasy shit. And that's pretty much it, man. Do I really like all the RNG? No. But I like a little bit of Gamba. I think a little bit of Gamba is fun. Like for me, Transcendence Gamba, I mean, fuck it, man. I don't really like gambling in real life. I don't. I'm not a big gambler in real life. But a little bit of video game, like I've always been like that. Dude, I used to always buy loot boxes in Overwatch and be like, I don't know. I like that kind of Gamba. It is like, it is, you know, I don't like real money Gamba. Because like for me, I'm down to Gamba for some skins. Because like that's fun, right? Gambling with money with the idea of making money, I don't like that. It's not my, I'm throwing the money in the bucket and never thinking about it again, you know? It's just, I just like a little bit of game Gamba. Eastern aesthetic, weird way to say suits. No, but Eastern aesthetic has more of the like, usually Eastern games, usually. BDO is not like this, but most of them are like very like, a great example is the new zone that's coming out in Lost Ark. It's like that new Rohendel. It's just very out there. You know what I mean? I don't care about the suits. I just like I like high fantasy. And like, can you guys name me some high fantasy games that are not Eastern? They're not a lot to think of, you know, like RuneScape. Okay, New World. World of Warcraft's kind of high fantasy, but it's not too much. Final Fantasy, great example. Like super, you know, Elden Ring, kind of like darky and like darker and like not. I'm talking about like the wide people have. Guild Wars 2 is kind of like it. Throne of Liberty, totally not high fantasy, low fantasy levels. The only thing that's high fantasy about the game is a fat ass fucking whale. Like I'm talking about like angels and fucking infinite galaxies. Ion, great Eastern game, right? I'm talking about fucking like BDO is more of like that Western shit. Elyon, great high fantasy game. Terra, high fantasy game, also Eastern. I'm talking about name me some Western games. Warframe, I never played it. Never played it. You know, I'm talking about high fantasy. You said RuneScape already. RuneScape not high fantasy. Kind of Kona. Night Online, never heard of it. PoE. It's like you could say, but it's a little bit more, you know, like it's got the Western appeal to it. Would you say ESO, Elder Scrolls Online? Not for what I'm looking for. That's like that is Western though, right? Elder Scrolls to me is Western, has that Western appeal. Like how do I describe this? Like class design, okay? Like a Western game is gonna have like a knight. It's gonna have like a fucking, like a barbarian, right? Eastern games are gonna have like angelic buster, you know, fucking telekinesis swords. You know what I mean? It's gonna have like that extra, like it's gonna have like that extra fucking, you know. Guild Wars 2 is pretty decent at this because their classes are like they got like mesmerizer and like, you know. No, I don't just want tits. Tits are valuable because tits are important, guys, because you don't want to listen, it's not about being a coomer. I want to look at something attractive. Right? If I'm a dude, I want to be fucking, you know, like a Chad, bro. I don't want to look at a dude that's fucking like me, you know? I want to look at a fucking Chad. It doesn't have to just be, I just want to look at peak, like it's a video game. Just look in the mirror. No, it doesn't work that way. I appreciate that though. Stellar Blade, you enjoy it? Yeah. It's very true, Yunhei. Can't make a video. Why don't Western games make their characters hot? It doesn't make any sense. You look at fucking Ashes of Creation, you're just like, bro, I want to be hot. It doesn't matter if I'm a dude or a chick. I want to be hot in the game. It's just why do I look like a straight bozo? It doesn't make any sense. For what? And it's like the Western thing. It's like, why do you want to not look? Why would you not want to look fucking? You know, it's like the new Jade Dynasty game. The Jade Dynasty new trailer. Like this is peak. You know what is that? What is like this class design, right? Got like lightning and fucking swords and shit like that versus like, oh yeah, like Dabu. Like, you know what I mean? I don't really want the Dabu shit, you know? Like Blade and Soul has that kind of shit too, like lightning arrow, archer thing. You wouldn't even call it a ranger. You'd call it like a fucking something else. Stoopzz is an Asian at heart. No, I just grew up playing those types of games and that's what I prefer. It is what it is, man. Those are the games that appeal to me, you know? Everyone's different. I mean, shit. It's different. It's personal preference. It's not one way or the other. It's just what I prefer. I want games that make me go, ha, when I log in. Not like, you never played a Chinese MMO. Well, that's because I fucking grew up playing Korean MMOs, man. I grew up playing Maple, you know? I didn't grow up playing fucking Jade Dynasty. I didn't grow up playing fucking, was Silk Road Chinese? I played Silk Road for a while. Was that Chinese or was that Korean? I don't know which one that was. Was it Chinese or Korean?
Their staff made a mistake of, you know, making the filter settings and the time setting, KW. They're gonna make the tier 3 materials that they got, like EXP and everything, into minus, into negative, as it happened on the NA and EU. And on the ones that they cannot do, for example, the tier 3 shard, what if like they already sold this from the auction house? How are they gonna return it? In those kind of cases, they are gonna replace it with the equivalent value of tier 4 materials. So they're gonna take away tier 4 tradable materials.
Oh my God. Now here's the thing, guys. Are they gonna get it right? Because they didn't get it right over here. And I'm telling you right now, if you think Amazon is the one that did the values, they did not. So let's see if they get this shit right, guys. Because that shit was an absolute fucking mess. It was an absolute fucking mess. So we'll find out. See if they do a good job at this. I doubt they do.
Instead of the tier 3, if they don't have the tier 3 in their inventory, spam OM. Furthermore, if people still exploits even after this announcement, then they're gonna take steps, see usage restriction, which means, you know, like ban, permaban, according to their, you know, TOS. Hope this exploit doesn't happen on the West. Henry!
If it happens in the West, I mean, what do you mean, Henry? Like, fix the fucking thing. What do you mean, does it happen? Fix it. I mean, that's going crazy. I took my blood yesterday, guys. 7 fucking vials of blood. I'm sitting there, and then she's talking to me while she's doing it, and she's moving the needle around in my fucking big vein right here. She's moving it around while I'm like, ah, it was so bad. And I'm looking at the thing as she's taking my blood, dude. 7 fucking vials, bro. I'm like, for how many of these? It's like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you. You have a lot of tests to do. And I'm just sitting there like, she's just fucking taking the life out of me. It was crazy. You know what I mean? She's like, psh, psh. And then she started asking me a question, and every time she would talk to me, she would lose focus, and the needle would move in my vein. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? In my head, that's what I'm thinking about. You know, in my head, I'm like, every time she's like, I don't want to talk to you, like, focus on my fucking vein. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't need this. She's like, don't worry, it's almost over. I'm like, ah. Bro, it was so bad. It was so painful. And by the 7th one, I was getting a little woozy because it was just pulling. It was so many vials of blood. I've done like 2, 3, but 7 was absurd. Just like this big, just all my, you know. And after I got out of there, I was so happy. 2 old guys, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. Like, when I'm sitting there, the lady that's taking my blood, she's like, you're too young to be having all these issues. I'm like, yeah, I fucking know. You know? I know. She's like, maybe it's something else. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Just draw my blood. Stop talking. Because every time she was talking to me, she's jerking my fucking vein around with a needle in it. This big ass syringe, like, moving it around. Like, I was serious. I know it's fucked up to say that. But, like, I don't want to, like, it's true. It is what it is, guys. This shit hurt. Just like, no, she was jerking my fucking